Hi friends, welcome to the kitchen, and in this video I'm going to test 3 hummus recipes from the Forks Over Knives app. And I'm no hummus pro, but I'm a very professional hummus eater. I've cooked maybe like 3 hummuses in my lifetime, but I tried a lot of them. So I at least have an understanding of what I like and of what I don't like. And here we have a good variety of hummuses from the Forks Over Knives app or website if you like it more. The app costs a little bit of money, at least on iOS, and the website is completely free. Hummus is a great dip, a very nice way to sneak in some legumes into your diet if you're not really into legumes, and also it's kind of blended, so I have a feeling that it's easier on your stomach to digest. But that's not a scientific fact. I didn't research it. And we are also going to make it oil-free, so how about that? The machines that you will need, the equipment, is the food processor or high-speed blender or good blender overall, so it can blend the beans and everything that's go inside with it. And preferably, very optionally, you can have a pressure cooker, which I really recommend as a great investment if you're planning to eat legumes, beans, whole grains. It really simplifies your life, saves you a lot of time, and this is a very, very worthy investment. 28 grams of cooked chickpeas contain around 46 calories, 3 grams of protein, 8 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fiber. It will also help enrich your diet with folate, iron, copper, phosphorus, and manganese. Because of their fiber and protein content, it's been shown in observational and randomized control studies that the consumption of pulses, the consumption of beans, legumes, generally is linked to better satiation, better weight management. And what's interesting is that it seems that you're more in control of binge eating, so you're more picky about the things that you eat, and you want to eat less junk food, which can be relevant to you if you're struggling with something like that. The fiber, as you know, is good for the gut. The fibers that are contained in the chickpeas are mostly soluble fibers. So they do feed your good bacteria, and they help you fight other diseases. One of the things that get produced by your good bacteria is butyrate, which is a short-chain fatty acid. Consuming around 200 grams of cooked chickpeas a day in healthy adults may be related to the suppression of the cancer cell proliferation in your colon, so chickpeas seem to offer some advantages. Moreover, there was a little study on 15 participants in Australia, which supplemented with chickpeas for around 12 weeks, around 104 grams of chickpeas a day. And the results showed improved bowel health, as well as after they canceled chickpeas, the participants tended to eat more processed and junk food. So it does look like chickpeas and fiber consumption in general, in particular chickpeas, can help you control what you eat, which is quite interesting. There is also a report done for the US market showing that people who do consume hummus and chickpeas in particular do tend to be healthier overall, and it is linked to the fact that probably an average American is not eating enough legumes in their diet, and hummus is one of those dips which is healthier, and you can eat it with other veggies as well. It tastes really nice. So overall, you consume more vegetables and more phytonutrients, which positively affects your health. And let's start with cooking. I might say something that I shouldn't be saying, but in a way, if there was a culinary language, I think hummus would be a translation of the Italian pasta, because you can sneak in a lot of good stuff inside of it. It will be not detectable with the bare eye. You will know that you are eating something really good, but you wouldn't necessarily know what's inside. And you can mix all different things, different kinds of beans, different kinds of herbs, and different kinds of spices, which makes it so versatile and so interesting to include into your diet. And today we are going to be trying 3 types of hummus. They're going to be very different, one from another. One of them is this Sonoran desert Tepary bean and roasted red pepper hummus. And I will tell you that this is all my interpretation because I didn't have all the ingredients. For example, I don't know what Tepary beans are, and I substituted with hummus, with chickpeas, the classic hummus legumes. We are also going to be cooking the Harissa hummus and the herb hummus. And I'm going to give you my evaluation of those 3 in the very end. Okay, so let's see. There are some common ingredients around the 3 of them. Chickpeas being one of them. 2 of the hummuses have roasted bell peppers in them, tahini as well, garlic, and some salt and water or veg broth, which I didn't have at the moment. I just used water, but you can use whatever you like. Just a note here, you will see that I'm cooking different things on different days. I didn't have time to cook it all at once, so please bear with me. Okay, let's start with the Sonoran desert Tepary bean and roasted red pepper hummus. I'm going to be looking at the recipe. I'll just read it out to you, and I'll link the recipe down below. So what are we going to need here? It's 1 medium red bell pepper, 2 cups of cooked white Tepary beans. I substituted with chickpeas, 2 lemons juiced. We are going to talk about lemons in this recipe. I'm not sure if it's like an authentic taste with 2 lemons, but man, there was a lot of lemons. 4 medium garlic cloves, 1/4 spoon of sea salt, 2 tablespoons of tahini, approved, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, 1/4 or 1/2 cup of water, or I would assume you can substitute it with the veg broth if you want it to be a little bit more flavorful. And let's get into cooking, how I cooked it personally. So here are all the ingredients that I used. As I already told you, like the amount of lemon juice in this hummus as per the original recipe is a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. And not only in my opinion, it's a little bit too sour. 2 lemons is a little bit much, but let's move on anyways. Let's start with some runny tahini, 2 tablespoons. I absolutely love tahini. I eat it when I'm hungry in the evening. I know it does have saturated fat, so probably it's not the healthiest habit, but it's not the unhealthiest habit of all the unhealthy habits, so pardon me for that. I really do love a good tahini. Now, what this recipe taught me is that roasting bell peppers is so delicious. It's so great. You can roast some bell peppers in advance. Here I roasted 2 bell peppers. You can roast 4, you can roast 5. If you don't like the taste of bell peppers, or you feel like they're a little bit too harsh on your digestive system, this is a great way to include some bell peppers into your regimen, into your diet, because I mean, not all the ingredients are going to be there once you roast them, because for example, vitamin C is heat degradable, but it's going to be still quite nutritious. It's still going to give you some good health benefits, and it's going to be way easier on your digestive system. You can also use it in salads. You can also use it on a side when you are in the middle of the week and you're running out of stuff that you cooked on the weekend. So I do recommend roasting your bell peppers. I'm also adding some garlic here. As this experience taught me, I made a mistake, and the garlic, if you just roast the cloves without cutting off the top, they're going to explode. So if you are like me and sometimes I get headachy from eating raw garlic or raw onion, so I do prefer to roast it a little bit. Just cut off the top and put it in the oven as well. It's going to help it not explode. Now, once the peppers cool down, it's time to get messy and peel them off. The skin comes out really easily, and also de-seed them. The stem is coming out really easily as well. You don't need to cut it in advance. And I know it does look terribly messy, but this is my favorite kind of a mess. And it's time to make mistakes. It's the lemon squeeze time. Don't, like 2 tablespoons of lemon here would be perfectly fine. You can add more as you go. Just taste your hummus. It will look really nice. And I ate it all, of course, because I was hungry as usual. But you can use a little bit less lemon. And finally, it's time for the food processor. Now you guessed it, we are adding a little bit of smoked paprika, which I kind of almost forgot, although this is my favorite ingredient out of many ingredients. And then you just blend it. Oh, look how smooth it is. The texture is really nice and the flavor is really nice. The aroma is so... You want this hummus, but once you taste it, it's a little bit too acidic. And this was our first hummus with the roasted bell peppers. I guess we can have a different name for it right now because there were no Tepary beans and no Sonoran desert probably. But now we are ready to move to the next hummus. And we are going to make a spicy one, the Harissa Hummus. Okay, now this one was great in my opinion. It also leaves you with some harissa paste. Which you can use throughout the week. It can stay in your fridge for around 2 weeks. So if you like some sauce to your other meals, please do consider this. It's really great. It also includes roasting some bell peppers, so now you know what to do. I did it behind the scenes. You don't need to see the same process all over again. You can also get the jarred bell peppers, which is actually a suggestion from the recipe, but I wanted my own bell peppers roasted. And let me read out the recipe to you. So just a small note. So first we make harissa paste and then we mix it with the hummus, with the beans and with tahini in the blender, taking a little bit of that. So first we are going to be cooking the paste itself. Let me read out the ingredients from the website to you. Half a cup of jarred roasted red bell pepper. I just roasted 2 bell peppers and used those. 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Harissa, I love tomato paste. 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. 2 tablespoons of finely chopped fresh mint. I used the fresh one. Or 1 tablespoon of dried mint. 10 cloves of garlic for the harissa, minced and divided. I guess you don't need to mince them too much, but I would mince it anyway. I used the garlic paste instead of the 10 garlic cloves because I couldn't find good garlic here, you know. Here we have the Chinese garlic mostly, and we have the Indian garlic. The Indian garlic, I'm not sure what's the deal with it. It has very tiny cloves. So if you are using the Chinese garlic, you need 1 clove. If you're using the Indian garlic, you need 3 cloves. And the thing with the Indian garlic here, it's like the skin is, it's really hard to peel. I have a feeling it's just the old garlic. If you know the issue, comment down below. I'm not a garlic pro, But the thing with the Chinese garlic is it gets soft, so soft after just maybe 2 weeks on your countertop. This is ridiculous. Recently, I found a great Lebanese garlic. It's so fresh, it feels like really young, the skin peels off really nicely, and the flavor is there. So I do recommend checking out Lebanese garlic if you're in Dubai. Chickpeas can, it's 1.5 cups, 1.5 tablespoons of tahini, and sea salt with freshly ground black pepper to taste. 1 teaspoon of ground caraway. I don't know what it is, I didn't have it. Half a teaspoon of ground coriander, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 4 tablespoons of lemon juice divided. I used half of lemon juice, half a lemon juiced. So behind the scenes, I roasted the bell peppers and peeled the skin off. Same thing that we did with the previous hummus. Here you can also see the lemons, the chickpeas, and the mint. We used some tomato paste, and I also squeezed half a lemon. I'm mixing them all in the same bowl. If you check the recipe, this is not how I should have done it. But I didn't pay attention to the fact that you have to cook the harissa paste first. This is how attentive I am. Yeah. Or maybe this is how they write the recipes, I don't know. And I'm adding many tablespoons of the garlic paste to substitute for the 10 garlic cloves, which is a ridiculous task to do it here because, as I said, the garlic quality kind of subpar. And here we are going in with spices, coriander, cumin, black pepper, and some smoked paprika. Tahini, I luckily divided it and it went straight to the chickpea bowl. I just thought maybe it would coagulate, like thicken in the lemon mixture, and this would be the case. So added it to the chickpeas. And good for me, because tahini, it turns out, not part of a harissa paste. It's time to cook the harissa paste. Behind the scenes, I chopped up the bell peppers in small pieces because they are going to be in the sauce, so you want them to be a little bit smaller. And I also chopped up some mint. So I did heat up the pan and I added the tomato paste bowl and the spices and the bell pepper and the mint all together, and mixed it well so the flavors fuse in together. And we are going to cook it on the medium heat for around 5 minutes until it thickens. Then I transferred it to the jar and I set 3 tablespoons aside for the hummus. So the good thing about this is that you can control the spiciness of your hummus and add a little bit more or a little bit less harissa paste. You can also use this harissa paste throughout the week. For the next 2 weeks, it's going to stay well in your fridge. Now we're blending the chickpeas with the tahini, 3 tablespoons of harissa paste, and adding some water so it's a little bit less thick. And we blend it until smooth. It has amazing flavor. It's spicy. It can get spicy. This one is not spicy, but the flavor is spicy. If you want it spicier, maybe add 1 or 2 more harissa paste spoons. And I really like this one. It took a little bit more time to cook, but I would definitely repeat it. And I had some harissa paste left. I would definitely be cooking that once again. And saving the best one for last, we are going to be cooking the herb hummus. Let me share the list of ingredients with you. I didn't have all the ingredients as usual. I think this is a problem with a lot of recipes that are cross-regional because Forks Over Knives app, I'm not sure, I might be wrong, but I think they're based in the US. So the food selection is very different from here. You might not find the same ingredients. It will be also true for different countries in Europe, for Russia, and also for different cities in Russia. So bigger cities would have a larger range of products. At different prices as well. So it's kind of, but this one is going to be very easy to cook in the summer, probably in the north of the world, when you have some fresh parsley, when you have some fresh herbs. I think it would be really nice and refreshing. Also, this one is not calling for any oil, as the previous ones didn't as well, and it's really refreshing. So let's go into the ingredients. It requires 1 cup of fresh basil leaf, lightly packed and blanched. I didn't have fresh basil leaves, I just had liquid spices, but I think you can also use the dry spices, but just make sure that they're fresh enough. Half a cup of fresh tarragon leaves, I didn't have that as well, I also used the liquid spices. It does have some other stuff mixed in, like the thickeners. 4 cups of cooked chickpeas, also known as garbanzo beans. 1 cup of vegetable broth, I used water. Half a cup of fresh flat leaf parsley leaves, this I had. Juice of 1 lemon. When they say 1 lemon, don't do that. 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds toasted. 2 cloves of garlic. 1/4 cup of chopped chives. I don't have chives. Don't even know where I have to go to get the fresh chives. So let's go. I really like this one, so do stay tuned. This hummus is really easy to make. It doesn't need you to roast anything in the stove for 25 minutes. But you need to toast a little bit of cumin seeds. I really like the taste of toasted cumin seeds. This was the first time I toasted cumin seeds actually. Normally I just put them raw on some salads, but it does taste really nice, and inside the hummus it creates a different dimension to the texture. So you know, those little chunky pieces with some flavor in them. Toasting cumin seeds takes about 3 to 5 minutes. Just toss them every now and then on the medium heat and make sure that they're not getting burnt, which will be indicated by the color of the cumin seeds, of course. Here I have all the ingredients that I used: parsley, chickpeas, garlic paste, tarragon, cumin seeds, lemon, and I also used a liquid basil, of course. Starting to mix our spices, a liquid basil goes first, then we add in liquid tarragon. I'm adding garlic paste. Garlic paste has the disadvantage over the garlic because it has salt in it, but you can try to choose the garlic paste which has lesser salt or lesser sodium, which is better for your health, associated with better health outcomes. So keep that in mind. And we are squeezing a little bit of a lemon to have some lemon juice. Don't use the full lemon, it's not worth it. I also pre-chopped parsley, and I didn't use that much of a stem because we want the hummus to be on a softer side, on a smoother side, so we don't want chunks of parsley. And I find that herbs, when they're not leaves, especially when they're stems, they don't get as well processed in the food processor. You can still feel some chunks which are not the same as cumin seeds. You know, it's a little bit different kind of a chunk. Maybe you like it, maybe some people like it, but it's not my cup of tea. So I prepped a little bit of a parsley by pre-chopping it, then we are loading everything in the food processor and pulse it first and then just blend till smooth. And this one is probably the leading one. It is so refreshing. It is so easy to make. The only thing that you need to do is cook your chickpeas, and as I said, it's a really easy way to sneak in some chickpeas, some legumes, herbs and spices into the diet. Even if someone hates legumes, if someone hates vegetables and fresh herbs, this is your way to go. So my final thoughts. Place number 3 goes to Sonoran hummus. It will receive 7 out of 10 because it has great potential, some really great potential. I love bell peppers. I love the fact that we roasted them. They're soft and nice and very flavorful. But the acidity, what's happening? To be fair, I used this learning in preparing the herb hummus, which suggested to use 1 lemon. This would have been too much. The acidity can kill it all. And I tried adding more chickpeas, adding more water to it, but it's still too acidic. Don't add this much acid. It has great potential. Harissa Hummus arrives at place number 2. It's great. It took a little bit more time to prepare, given that you first have to make the harissa paste. So if you're short of time, I would give it 9 out of 10 just for this reason, because you have to prepare basically 2 sauces. Yeah, but it stays really great in the fridge, and I will definitely use the harissa sauce again. And our winner is the herb hummus. It's delicious. It has this cumin seed crunch in it. It's really flavorful. It's herbed. It's green. And it uses no oil. It's just amazing. I would give it 13, 15, 20 out of 10. It's the best hummus I've ever tasted in my life, and I'm not kidding. It's not something best that I cooked, but it's something best that I ever tried in the hummus world. So if you want to challenge me, please do. I really love this one. So these were the 3 forks over knives hummus recipes. Do let me know which one was your favorite and which one I should try next to maybe challenge the herb hummus. Remember to know what you eat, and of course do try eat some greens today. And also remember that cooking is meant to be fun and enjoyed, so do tune in maybe with some of your family members or the loved ones and share this experience with them. It might be some fun little quality time. And of course, I really do appreciate your feedback as a comment or a like. If you're really feeling like it, please do consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you virtually nothing, but it means so much to me, and it shows really great support. I'm also going to leave my Instagram handle down below. It's at the best of full of love on Instagram. And there I'm sharing daily tips on how to make the best out of your meals, along with some quicker videos on recipes. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I'll catch you sometime later. See ya.